To the bottom right of the map, the player for FXOpen, a former GSL champion.
FXOC.
FXOC, the Protoss player for the team here in the third match at the GSTL. Going up against his opponent to the top left of Tristram. This is, of course, for Seoul.
Seoul, Youngju.
One of those idealist players, just uses his name.
So, the reason why this game is going to be very important, in my personal opinion, is because we have the three very strong players for Seoul with Dia, Trap, and Haiba. These are the strongest, and these are the players that usually carry the team. The problem is that Haiba already lost, and Dia won his match. Trap is expected to win against JKS, but in a format where you have the preparation time on a specific map, you can of course always just go for a build that he doesn't expect to take him down. But for the sake of argument, if you assume that Trap is going to win his match, then you still have two players you have to take it if you don't want to go into the ace match. And that means one of the players really have to step it up. Hurricane against Huangshin is going to be a really interesting game, but Hurricane definitely doing quite well. Sanae versus Linok. With the performance that we saw out of Linok just recently, it doesn't seem likely that Sanae is going to take it unless he really stepped it up in the past. So this is one of those crucial matches that you have here. And even in this game now, we have very interesting plays already from both players. We see actually Gas taking... No. Yeah, Gas taking really fast.
Yeah, not for Siege, but yeah, for Youngju, of course.
Yeah, for a second I was actually like, I didn't see it on the minimap like immediately, and I was like, well, did he actually cancel it and just go in the oversupply? But no, he didn't, of course. He has already a lot of gas.
Yeah, and a perfect pullout here.
And more important, he doesn't have an entry.
He's still not doing that.
This could well be a one-base.
You remember what I said earlier about the all-in of JKS? It's a similar type of situation where you have a player and it's like, yeah, I think actually he's just going to make a bunch of speedlings off one base.
He doesn't go into a baneling nest. He doesn't mine additional gas. So we will see an expansion after all. But this is a very, very, very fast speedling attack that we see out of Youngju. Really trying to put on the screws here. And for Seed, we have in the main base the Forge, which is something that we don't see that often anymore.
Yeah, he actually makes it in the main instead of a gateway.
Wow, that was good. Takes down the probe immediately.
And Seed knows now that he's got to be a little bit careful because he's very much in the dark. These Lings are just going to try to stop any cannons from going up and to keep the wall out.
There is one cannon already. If he gets the speed before the wall is up, he will just run into the main base. And he's waiting already. If speed finishes before there's a wall, he's just going to run into the main base, and then he has a really good chance of destroying the Nexus.
Speed's about to be done. The rest of the Lings going to come in here. He shows only 4 Lings, which is normal. This is what Seed has already seen. This is what he expects.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's trouble brewing. Speed is done.
Speed is done.
He's waiting for the rest of the Zerglings. He might wait too long. He needs to be careful here. There's no sentry, no nothing. He goes into the main base. He sees everything. And the Lings, they run and he takes the cannon. He takes the cannon on.
He's actually going to go ahead and fight the cannon here, basically making it so that he actually can just end the game here if the next wave of Lings comes in. He needs to bring that next wave of Lings, though. These probes are in trouble. They try to wall here.
Too many.
Way too many. The Zealot comes out, but it's not going to be enough.
He's just killing mining time. He doesn't want to go for the units. He wants to kill the mining time, and he keeps those probes there. He could have fought. He could have tried to go for it. At this point, he's just making sure that there's no income for his opponent. I feel he had a shot of running into the main base. That might have been the better option.
There's a supply block, by the way, on that gateway. Nothing's coming out of there. Until, of course, probe went down. Now the sentry can go down, come out here.
And he goes for it now. He wants to take down the probes, and he has to. He's so far behind in the worker count. He has to do something. He expands again, but 26 against 17 harvesters still. He needs to take down more of the probes, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. Very well done. Reduced the harvester count for his opponent, and suddenly he's one with the lead.
And the sentry!
Oh my god, no!
Oh, he takes it out here, and oh wow, this is really looking rough for Seed. He does have now, of course, a deficit in workers of only 2, but he has no tech.
You know, at the beginning I was actually a little bit worried that he didn't make the right choice here, because like keeping those probes on the low ground loses mining time for the Protoss, but as soon as he puts those 29 harvesters back to work, the income is just going to skyrocket. I feel maybe sneaking a few Zerglings in would still have been a good option for him, but he was able to reduce his opponent's harvester count by a lot, and that was so crucial. If not for that, he would have been far behind.
Yeah, and I mean, still as it is, Youngju gonna make basically only drones. He has a 3rd hatchery finishing up. and the game kind of looks like it would at this point in time in an over game, just like a little bit slower. The things that are missing are tech for Seed. He has an extra gateway, which is a little bit weird. And Youngju is missing some queens, so he's actually not getting all the injects that he could. But things will stabilize here. He takes his second gas, starts the Roach Warren. Do you think he's going to fall with the Roach pressure?
To be honest with you, I don't think he has to. He's on 3 bases, so he doesn't necessarily have to go for Roach. I would rather like to see him go into the late game. He edged out an advantage in the game because he was able to just slow everything down that happens for Seed. Seed has very late tech in this game. He added the second gateway to make sure that he has the wall. We have him currently with a sentry guarding it. And he was pressured so much. He lost harvesters, he lost mining time, and Youngju is the one who has now an opportunity to go into his tech. But he's going for aggression, he's going for burrow, and he's going to get those roaches, so he really seems to be willing to put it on the line and try to end it early.
And what Seed is doing also kind of lends itself towards aggression as well, chrono boosting both his Forge and his Warp Gate research, knowing that since Youngju was so aggressive, he wants to spend a lot of money on getting his economy back up, so he's trying to counteract that. But kind of the opposite is happening. Youngju got his economy to where it needed to be, but then has been making nothing but lings. And now actually switches back to drones, so I think the burrow may actually be more of a defensive move here.
Yeah, I like this a lot more. I was when he got another set of Zerglings, I was really a little bit worried that he would just go for an all-out attack and really try to take the game early. I feel that would have given Seed an opportunity to make a comeback much easier than it is right now. With him droning up and having the links on the map now solely to see if there is a third base coming up, that's, in my opinion, the right choice for Youngju and much more difficult for Seed to deal with. So at this point, even the macro hatch is being built, and Youngju wants to make sure that he doesn't lose to, let's say, a lava block or anything like it. But he can now also go into the double evolution chamber, start his upgrades. He has a really strong economy going. Additional gas would be nice for him as well. So very nice transition here from Youngju. I like it.
Yeah, same here. Speed +1. Phoenix sees everything. Gateway's here for Seed finishing up, so he will actually attack. Seed is absolutely going to move out here and do a sentry attack timing. With +1 finishing up, so good timing for that. But the macro hatch is going down here, and he's already got roaches queued up. I think that Youngju will be able to hold this. He doesn't start a spine, which is a little bit worrisome, but I think he should be able to hold, especially now because he sees everything.
I think he's just going to expand with 4 gates. I would be surprised if that's not an expansion move, and yeah, there it is, Nexus. With 4 gates alone in this, you cannot attack possibly Berserk way out. 3 bases.
Yeah, it's a bit too late.
That would be like suicidal. What we see here is basically the normal the normal move is at 7 minutes and 20 to 30 seconds to move out and take your third, and that's something that was so much delayed because of what we saw in the early game that Seed is just barely able to make it happen before the 12-minute mark.
Yeah, you're right. Thinking back on it, I guess he would have held easily if Seed attacked. I think Seed knows that as well.
Yeah, we're
These
definitely right on that.
Are not the best, and in fact now he's got roaches here and there's burrow, no detection. Just burrows the roaches until the force fields fade away.
And he goes into the +1 attack upgrade. He fights out so much energy on these sentries already and is trying to squeeze past, and he's able to make that happen. Bam, another sentry going down. Most of the sentries already out of energy. There's not a lot of damage that he can dish out with this. And right now, the only thing that Youngju has to do is go for a second wave. 28 Zerglings already on the production tab. The roaches as well. He can just stream in. He's sniping everything. And Youngju about to take the game against Seed.
He's dancing the roaches a little bit here, taking out so many zealots. The 2 sentries in the back look poised to fall, and the rest of the units have now arrived. Third Nexus will complete if he doesn't cancel it, and I think he should. Mothership Core not going to save him there anymore.
And right now, I mean, he's going to snipe the core. The third base is a goner for sure if he attacks it, and this is looking worse and worse for Seed at this point. The Photon Overcharge trying to help out a little bit, but this is just not enough. Too little, too late.
Yep, this is going to be game. As soon as he kills his gateways, he actually needs to be microing a little bit there. I think someone's broken from Blue Command there for a second. Now he gets through, and even with the Mothership Core going for the overcharge, it doesn't matter. The probes are being forced off the line here to fight. Good force seal, but it just doesn't matter.
Youngju is getting a 4th base behind this. He has a follow-up in case that it doesn't work. If Seed somehow miraculously holds, he still has a 4th, but that's of course not going to happen. GG! And Youngju, he takes it.
Yeah, really good opening. Very aggressive, risky in some ways, but the transition was really what I liked from him. He really knew exactly how to go into the next step. and keep Seed guessing a little bit.
Yeah, and this is one of the games where I think that right now they have a really good chance of taking it. If Hyper would have performed a little bit better against Gumiho, then this would be a 3-0 already.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm really happy for Youngju because he's such a new player, a player who's shown good promise. As you can see, the Seoul coach relied on him twice now, a third time. He hasn't been able to perform until just now today, and this is the beginning of a good future for him, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's kind of starting to make a bit of a name for himself, and with Seed, I mean, it didn't work for him. The wall came late. He had the Forge in the main base, not on the low ground. And yeah, then we had Young just going for it, but he's still a player who needs the experience in the booth, and he is making that happen and is winning his games. So right now we have a 2-1 lead for Seoul, and that means that Trap could bring us to a 3-1 for Seoul if he is able to take down JKS in our next game.
Yeah, and I wonder if he will. JKS, again, one of these mystery players like you talked about before. He comes out in Team League, does well, and everyone's like, oh yeah, JKS is pretty good. And then he disappears for a while, and you see him again a few months later in the Team League once more. So how in shape is he? Similar question about Youngju. You know, we saw Youngju come out. How well is he going to do? He ends up winning his game, and JKS could do the same if he's underestimated.
Yeah, but still, after this, we have 2 mirror matches. After the next game, there come 2 mirror matches. We have Huangxing versus Hurricane. Then we have Lenog versus Sanai. And Lenog versus Sanai is one of those games where I personally do not think that Sanai stands a chance.
Yeah, he was probably hoping to hit a Protoss maybe.
The last games that we've seen from Sanai were not really all that impressive. So if he hasn't improved a lot, then I feel Lenog in a Zerg versus Zerg cannot be beaten by him. Lenog is really good in the matchup, and he's one of those players who coming out last, usually in the Team League, do a lot. Him taking the map is, I think, definitely one of the matches where Choya said when he saw the lineups, all right, this is a win.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be one of the games that we win for sure. If not for a huge upset, FXOpen will most likely take the last game. So that means that either that if Trap wins against JKS, Huangxing kind of has to do it against Hurricane if they want to prevent the ace match. And that, I don't know, that's going to be a tough one. But first of all, I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves. JKS is now going up against Trap, and JKS is a player who can take a best of 1.
I mean, look at JKS's stats. You look at it and actually all you see is the exact same values that you saw in the previous game with Youngju. He's 0-2. He's played 2 matches and lost them in the regular seasons. Including his preseason match, they did one with the Baneling all-in.
Yeah, but as mentioned, when Youngju played, he actually did quite well in the individual performance in the qualifier. Just to give one example. So he's getting there, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, for JKS, the last time that we saw him was when he lost against Burning, a Samsung Galaxy player. That was in the Code A qualifier, aka the WCS Challenger League qualifier. Back then he lost with a 2-1. Burning is pretty good on the other hand. But against Protoss we have JKS with a 2-0 versus Huangxing, and he lost against First, just barely. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Trap, on the other hand, highly favored when you come down to his individual league results. We do have another 5-minute break before we get into this set, so don't go anywhere. See you in a few.